Hey Scorpio, thanks for checking out your reading for January 17th through the 23rd. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am setting the intention for the 17th through the 23rd. However, you may happen to stumble upon this video later at some other time. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever it's time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the Scorpio collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. We've got a full moon in Cancer on the 17th. Scorpio, as a water sign, a lot of the time Scorpio can be pretty sensitive to full moon energy. And sometimes people who are sensitive to full moon energy, you may feel it 3 days or a week before, and you may feel it 3 days or up to a week after. But we're going to connect and see what messages are coming up and what the full moon may be kind of getting things in motion for Scorpio here. So let's take a look at your cards. The first card coming up, and I'm moving you a little bit closer here. First card coming up is the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords can come in a couple of different ways. Most traditionally, we might see it as conflict or disagreement. There could be some kind of drama or some kind of disagreement. Now, those of you that might have disagreements happening, I'm getting a really interesting feeling and vibe here from the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords typically is somebody who's like trying to come in and bulldoze over a situation. Their way is the best way. Their way is the only way. Or they may be coming in and trying to like force something. And so there may be disagreements or drama. Some of you may have in this full moon energy, in this time of release, where there's like a disagreement. However, I feel what's happening is like a role reversal. Like somebody's coming at you all Knight of Swords, and I feel like, Scorpio, you're turning it around on them. Like you just turn around and you go the other way. Like I'm not having this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm tired of this. So I feel some of you are really, really pushing back. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is a situation with someone that you've been really, really patient. Right? Maybe it's a coworker and you just keep telling yourself, you know what? This is like a little barking chihuahua. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to let it go. Or you've just been really patient about a situation. It could be a family member. It could be a friend who's maybe like kind of coming in and trying to guilt you into doing stuff for them, whatever it might be. Maybe you had compassion, or maybe you were being super mature and super patient, but you've had it. Like your patience is done. And I feel this is especially true if you have a Gemini placement, because Gemini had a similar energy. So I think that this like being out of patience and you turning it around on them is going to especially be true for Scorpios that have a Gemini placement. Now, the Knight of Swords can also sometimes come up when something is being sped up. You may have had some kind of a plan and you're like, oh, well, you know, I'll stay at this job another 6 months, or I'll give it another year, or I'll wait a couple of months before I start looking for a new place, or, you know, oh, I don't want to break up with this person right before Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll wait till after Valentine's Day. Whatever it is, you might have something in your mind where you're telling yourself you're going to wait. Like, I'm not going to do it just yet, but I'm going to wait. A lot of the times I see Knight of Swords come up where the, you know, Spirit is saying, look, it's going to happen before then. It's going to happen before then. Things are going to get rolling. Things are going to get set into motion to where you find it's happening before you had planned. So your plans are getting sped up. Right? We've all experienced delays, and we know how frustrating delays can be. But in this instance, Scorpio, a lot of you have some plans of things that you're kind of like putting off, or you're saying you're going to do later, and it's getting sped up and it's happening sooner than you planned. Sooner, you're going to have to take the steps sooner than you were planning to. So something being sped up here. I do feel that some of you are doing something in regards to defense. Okay, this full moon energy, anytime we're in a full moon, it will help us to release things. Like sometimes it can be fear, sometimes it can be anger, sometimes it could be limited beliefs. Scorpio, some of you might have some vulnerability. You might have some fears of, please excuse my dog in the background. I know he's being really loud. He's very thirsty right now. But some of you might be releasing, like maybe you've had some childhood traumas, or maybe you were in an abusive relationship, or maybe you had a lot of, negativity, or like physical conflict in your home growing up with siblings or whatever it might have been. So you might kind of have these fears, you might have these wounds that in this full moon energy is coming to the surface. But I feel like a lot of you Scorpios that have that are going to be dealing with it by getting into like, how can I feel safe? How can I protect myself? And so I feel like a lot of you Scorpios might be getting into different ways of defense, whether it might be taking up self-defense, taking up martial arts, taking up boxing or something, or you might be looking into home defense, like ways in securing your home, or ways in, kind of deterring anybody from coming in, or being able to start anything. So I feel that there's this sense of like defense and protectiveness here, where you're trying to kind of change this. Some of you might even be changing yourself, not your self-image, but like the way that you're presenting yourself. You're like maybe wanting to come off as somebody that's maybe not super friendly or not super approachable. So you may be kind of carrying yourself a little bit differently or changing your style. Obviously, this is a general reading and it's not going to be the case for every single one of you, but I feel that aspect for some of you Scorpios. The next card that's coming up here is the Justice card. Okay, interesting. Now, this is a major arcana card. So anytime that we have major arcana cards coming up, it's like we're coming into a new chapter. This is a significant turning point. This is a significant time in our life. The situations that we're dealing with are directly connected to things we came here to experience and things that we came here to master. Now, with the Justice card, okay, this is traditionally going to be associated with the astrological sign of Libra. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra, or a Libra could be coming into an equation that maybe you are having a little bit of a showdown with a Libra. However, if you have a Libra placement, you can expect that there may be big changes happening for you in that area of your life, or that's the area of your life where things are getting sped up, right? You were thinking, oh, I'll do this in the future, but it's getting sped up. If you have a Libra placement, that could be the area in your life where you're having these changes and these fast-moving energies, okay? Now, the Justice card is about fairness. It's about balance. It can come up when we're in a situation where we're kind of being led to stand up for ourselves, so that really goes with the first message. Also, the Justice card is about decisions and balancing the head and the heart, right? Making decisions based on your head and your heart, like bringing them together. And sometimes we might feel like, you know what? When I listen to my heart, I get burned. When I listen to my head, I am bored to tears. And you're like, I just can't win. And so what we learn in this Justice energy here is that the key is to listen to both. You're going to listen to your heart, and you're going to let your heart guide you in the right direction. But you're going to bring your brain, you're going to bring your mind into it, and you're going to go into this with a plan. How can I do this in a way that's going to set me up for success? Instead of willy-nilly throwing yourself into some situation and getting burned, or it doesn't work out, and we're like, oh, I was just being way too optimistic. It's not that you were being way too optimistic. You needed a better plan. So I do feel that a lot of you Scorpios are learning to bring your head and your heart into harmony. That it doesn't have to be choosing between the two, but getting the two to work together and setting yourself up for success. Now, the Justice card can indicate that some of you may be pursuing things legally, or you may have good news coming to you in a legal matter. Something is being handled fairly, or something is being ruled or decided in your favor. So if you have something pending with the courts, maybe you're waiting to hear back about like a settlement of some kind, or something, or some kind of assistance that you've applied for. There may be a little bit of conflict here with the Knight of Swords, but you may be finding that you are prevailing, or that, you know, the truth is coming out here in this situation. Now, I don't do legal readings. I'm not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice. So please do not schedule a reading with me and be like, what's happening in my court case? You know, because I cannot give legal advice, and I don't do legal readings. But traditionally speaking, a lot of the times the Justice card can be seen as having success in civil matters. So I will say this: if you're in a situation and you're thinking, I might need to pursue this legally, or I might need to stand up for myself, and, you know, I don't think they have the right to do this, and the Justice card comes up, that to me tells me that you definitely are kind of being guided to reach out to a lawyer, or to, you know, to an attorney, and just basically be like, hey, look, here's my situation. Do I have a case? You know, this is telling me that you probably do have a case, and with the right lawyer, you can be successful, right? But you need somebody who can navigate the system for you, and who can show you the ropes, so to speak, or who can handle it for you. So, but in that way, you're still standing up for yourself, and you're saying, this isn't okay. You can't do that. You don't have the right to do that. So some of you Scorpios are really being pushed to stand up for yourself, whether it's in a personal situation or something that you're taking to the courts. There's my doggy again. The next card coming up here is the Tower. Wow. Now we have Major Arcana cards coming in back to back. When the Major Arcana cards come in back to back for me, it's telling me really big changes and really big shifts in a really short period of time. Now, what's interesting here is there's a Scorpio element to the Tower. So even though the Tower is typically seen as chaotic, right? And some of you have heard me say this in previous YouTube videos, where it's not always going to be a terrible, scary thing. The Tower can be paradigm shift and awakening. We see the truth of a situation, a truth is exposed, and we can't unsee it. Or it's a change or a shift that's pushing us out of our comfort zone. And so it's something that's pushing us out of our comfort zone. So when things are pushing us out of our comfort zone, it's a permanent change. It can be landing your dream job. It can be landing a big contract. The Justice card can be contracts. You might be presented with a promotion or a job or some kind of contract that is completely and totally changing your life forever, right? It can be a relocation. It could be falling in love. It could be buying property, finding your dream home. It can be good and positive things. The fact that there's a Scorpio element to the Tower, and we have all of these cards here about coming up into your power, do give me a sense and a feeling, Scorpio, where you are shaking things up in your life. And I feel there might be something here where some of you are revealing yourself in some way, or stepping into power. So this could be a really big promotion for some of you. This could be, if you're self-employed, your business really kind of getting some kind of, it might seem to other people a lucky break, but it's not a lucky break. It's something that you're meant to have. It's something that you're meant to do, and you've been working hard for. So I feel something is coming in, Scorpio, where you are breaking through the illusions of other people. You're like opening up their eyes, or you're stepping up into power. And it could be that there's people around you who did not see this coming, right? So you may be the dark horse, so to speak, or the underdog in a situation, but all of a sudden you're rising to power, and people are like, where did you come from? I didn't see this coming, right? So that this could be something that is seeming like an upset to others. They were not really expecting you, and now here you come in, and you're claiming the prize, you're claiming the cup or the ring or whatever you want to call it. So I feel, Scorpio, there's something here where you're coming into power and you're maybe getting something that other people are wanting or other people are vying for. I feel a sense even like an overthrowing, right? Like you're like, this is my house, and you're like throwing this person out the window. Not literally, Scorpio. Do not throw anybody out of any windows. Do not physically harm anyone. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm saying in a symbolic sense, right? So some of you might be cleaning house or clearing house in your life, and maybe kind of somebody is doing something they shouldn't be doing, and you're getting them ousted. You're getting them removed from a position of power, right? And people might be like, oh, well, Scorpio, you just did that because you were fighting dirty because you wanted their position. But no, the Justice card tells me here that there's something here that, like, this is not right. Like, you're standing up for the right thing. And so some of you might be ousting someone who's being unethical, and then stepping in and showing everybody the right way to do things, or the ethical way to do things. Your next card here, Scorpio, is the Six of Wands. And that's confirmation for me, because the Six of Wands is victory. It's overcoming obstacles, it's overcoming challenges, and it's beautiful, powerful energy that is like good news coming in, right? Good news coming in, victory. You beat out the competition. You got the prize. You got the thing other people were wanting, right? You're the one who won. You're the one who came through here, and the victory is yours. If you are a self-employed person, there could be a lot of business coming your way through word of mouth, or there could be people who are talking about you or discussing you. You might be ending up in like people's blogs and people's like top 10 best kind of lists or things like that people have online. And, you didn't ask for that. You just, you're making a name for yourself, and, people are speaking of you positively. If you are self-employed and you're trying to figure out some kind of budget right now, and you're trying to think about, how you're gonna promote yourself, and you might be like trying to come up with money for advertising, Six of Wands is not going to tell you not to pay for advertising, but Six of Wands is going to tell you there's no need to go overboard, because the majority of your work in your business will come through word of mouth. You don't need to break the bank paying for advertising. Six of Wands can also be vindication and victory. There could have been people who were saying lies about you, but the truth is being revealed, right? It's being revealed, and it's coming out to the light that things that were being said are not true. Lies could be exposed with the Six of Wands. Anybody who's lying against you will be exposed. For some of you, this is something very old from a very long time ago. Now, I will say this, and I don't typically like to get into this kind of thing, but some of you might have family, or I'm going to say family, that maybe kind of dabbles in spells or things like that. A lot of cultures will have more likelihood of like practicing spells and things like that. And so some of you might have a family member that maybe has been doing some, or trying to be doing some energy work against you from the time you were very young, from the time you were a child. It could be the sibling of one of your parents, who, like an aunt or an uncle, who was like really jealous of your mom or your dad, and just saw you as a way to like get to their sibling, like to make them unhappy or to cause them pain. And that's kind of really low to be doing stuff against a little kid. But some of you have had family that from a very young age, you had them like trying to send negativity into your family structure or against you personally. And I feel like this is being exposed. The truth about this is coming to the surface. And I feel like it's because everything that they were trying to do against you, maybe your family went through hard times, maybe you really suffered, but now you guys are breaking out of it, and there's these blessings coming your guys' way, and all the things they were doing to you is going back to them. Okay, all the things they were doing to you is going back to them. I feel like Taurus may have had something similar, or Cancer may have had something similar. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, but if you have a Taurus or Cancer placement, then this could be like a confirmation for you. And I feel like they might be coming to you and trying to do a blessing instead, or trying to confess and apologize and like asking for your forgiveness, because they feel like that's the only way they can escape the negative energy that they brought upon themselves. But the truth of the matter is, Scorpio, that it's not going to work that way. Even if you said to this person, you know what, I forgive you, and I'm not going to have resentment over you trying to send this negativity my way, they're still going to suffer the consequences of their actions. But I feel like it's coming to light and it's being revealed because they think this is the only way the trouble will stop. And that's not the case. They're going to have to deal with the consequences of what they tried to do. Because that's really low. To do something like that against the family, or to do something like that against like a little kid, that's really low. And it doesn't matter if you're forgiving of them. They're going to have to deal with the consequences of what they tried to do. But I feel like they're kind of telling on themselves. They're coming and they're trying to apologize, or they're trying to, save themselves by trying to make peace with you. Scorpio, my dears and my darlings, you may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks that might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Do keep in mind, my dears, that love and romance readings are linked in the description. February love readings will be up soon. You'll be getting notifications in the next couple of days. 2022 12-month forecasts are also linked in the description of this video. So if you haven't watched the 2022 forecasts, set some time aside and check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care, Scorpio.